one of the things that President Biden was trying to do in the trip, I think, was find a way to have a better understanding of what to do about Iran. And I think he was trying to convince, in particular, the Israelis and the Saudis, that it actually makes sense for Iran to go, and the United States, to go back into the Iran nuclear deal, put limits on Iran's nuclear program. Do you think President Biden is right? Should we all be trying to get that deal put back together?
Iran is a major actor in that part of the world. And for me, in Iraq, we have long borders with Iran. We have all kinds of interactions, social, cultural, common security interests, you name it. So obviously this is an issue of consequence to us and is a consequence to the wider region and indeed the world. There is no military solutions to these. We need a diplomatic closure to this stalemate. We need a security arrangement in the Middle East where we can come together to combat terrorism, which remains a major problem. Look at where Syria is, look at northern Syria, look at the militants that exist and take base in Syria that still pose a real threat to the stability, not just the Middle East, but also the wider world. Compare that to Afghanistan in 2001, where few men were in the remote caves of Afghanistan and could manage to pull off that terrible attack on September 11th. And now we're talking about thousands and thousands of militants, well-equipped, well-trained, in the heartland of the urban Middle East. It's a danger. We need to bring the neighborhood together as part of a common architecture to push back against these elements, but also really attend to the fundamental challenges that the Middle East is facing. Jobs, economic challenges that we are faced with, the terrible climate changes that are affecting the entire neighborhood.
But so let me translate what I think you're saying, which is, yes, we should have a nuclear deal,
yes,
but it's even more than that. You are talking, I think, about
an integration of our part of the world.
And a kind of reconciliation between Iran and the Arabs?
Absolutely. And by the way, on that count, Iraq is playing a very important role in trying to mediate between the Saudis and the Iranians. There have been a number of conversations that have taken place in Baghdad between Iran and other Arab neighbors, and there are some important atmospherics that have improved. At the end of the day, we need to sit down at the same table and talk about the problems that are of consequence to our own constituents. At the end of the day, yes, America matters, yes, the world matters, but also our own priorities in our part of the world matter.
But this is not where things are,
Mr.
President. Right now what's happening is Saudi Arabia is making a tacit alliance with Israel. The UAE has effectively made an open alliance. And that is more like the old containment strategy of two warring camps.
I think this is, again, if you go back to history, this is a recipe of repeating the terrible tragedies of the past. This part of the world cannot go on like this. We are blessed with having oil, but we also have very serious challenges, economic and social challenges. We need infrastructure that can connect our economies together. We need common action against climate change. Iraq cannot do it alone. Saudi Arabia cannot do it alone. Iran cannot do it alone. The Turks cannot do it alone. Syria, at the end of the day, has to be brought back into the fold, and we need to find a way by which we get Syria out of the mess that it is in today, has been in for so long. While we are focused on the headlines of interstate rivalries between Iran, Saudis, this and that, at the end of the day, there are really big challenges confronting each and every state in that part of the world. We don't want to go back to the days of the past where we are part of axis against another. We did that and we paid dearly for it. We have too many priorities to do that again.